I screwed it up. Constantine. And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. I don't know why everybody's coming over here. Just because I started talking does not mean that we can get up from our doggy beds and from our kitty corners and start making noise and coming over here and doing things. There's nothing for you right here, buddy. I'm your host, Chad White. This is a premier podcast. Episode 268. Let me click on this link. Yep, 268. Episode 268 of the show. I'm thrown off because of animals. It's ridiculous. They're coming over here bothering me. Oh, we want attention. We love you. Ooh. Get out of here, you nerds. All right, we're back. Let's see. I may or may not have recorded this after I did Late Night Lately, the one episode that came out with this. The only way you can tell is if you're watching the video, and I'm not wearing a different shirt, but I definitely am wearing something on top of it, and you may not be able to know or tell. Okay. Here we are. Look at he's back over here. Okay. We have no room. Oh, you know what? I don't know if he's ever been on camera. He probably has. Who cares? You just heard me slap his little sides. What's been going on? Nothing much. I've been trying to watch a bunch of. If you want to know what messages came through on my watch, it is the Nest Home Report. I just got an email from Nest, Google Nest, about that. So there you go. That's how popular I am. What's been going on? I've been watching horror movies. Actually, I've been working about. Stop. I've been working probably like 11-hour days, and at work at my current employer, Warner Brothers Discovery, and I got home yesterday, Sunday. This episode's very late. Oh my God! I just forgot something. I got home Sunday. Hold on, I'll do it in a second. I got home Sunday, and I was what was I doing? What was I talking about? Oh, I got home Sunday. So this is why I've been working. This is what happens when I've been working so long. I got home Sunday, and I was so tired. And I made dinner, which was leftovers from Saturday before. So it wasn't that healthy. I made dinner, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm watching. Baseball and football, or football ends and another game begins, and baseball starts, and so I'm watching both. Thank goodness for YouTube's. First of all, I have very big issues with YouTube TV's multi-view. First, it should be for any channel. It shouldn't just be for sports. Second, they should have done this years ago. For 70. Oh my God. Jeez Louise. I am so sick. Okay, here's the thing. If you I'm going to go on a little tangent. If you watched or listened to last week's episode of whatever shows I did, Constitutionals, Late Night Lately, and LinkedIn Logs, at some point, I might have complained about like a thumbs up appearing on the screen, doing an animated thumbs up. Turns out it's not OBS. It's Mac OS that's doing it. I thought it was OBS doing it. It's Mac OS, and you have to turn them off, and you have to go deep into the settings. I saw an article about it because I had to Google about it, and I didn't know. But if you hold a thumbs up pops up on screen. I don't like that. If you hold two thumbs up, then you get you get this fireworks or something. I think a peace sign does balloons. I think a double peace sign does something else. I don't know. I don't like this at all. And it scared the living daylights out of me, which is appropriate because I was talking about horror movies. So I got home last night. So I mean, not last night, but I got home, and I'll figure out how to turn them off at some point. But I got home and I did dinner, and I was laundry and cleaning all this stuff. And I'm sitting down and I watch some of these games, and I go, I don't care what happens in these games tonight. I'm just gonna watch The Nun 2. And I turn on The Nun 2 for maybe a minute. And also, I have The Nun 2 because I have screeners. I have screeners from work, which is the one of the great pure things of working at Warner Bros. Discovery. Do I love that company. Oh, it didn't do it. It didn't do it. Hold on. Boy, do I love that company. The thumbs up isn't working when I want it to. And so I turn on. So I have the screener for The Nun 2, as well as Blue Beetle. I watched Blue Beetle because it's got a Latino lead. I had to give a brown person. I don't usually watch superhero movies, but I was like, I gotta support brown people. I also have the screener for Barbie, which I'm fine. And they're all in 4K, which is very neat. Anyway, let me stop talking about that. But I turn on The Nun 2, maybe a minute too, and I go because the entire time I'm a huge fan of the Conjuring universe, and the entire time I'm going, I think I've seen this. I think I've seen The Nun. I think I've seen The Nun. And I get in and I'm like, I don't think I've seen The Nun at all. And then I Google a trailer for The Nun. And I go, oh my God, I haven't seen it. So I go to Max, turn on The Nun. And at this point, it is 8:20. Sunday Night Football has barely started. Baseball has been on for 20 minutes, and I'm just sitting there in this chair, and I'm about to fall asleep because I've just been working so many. I work so many hours. I wake up at like 4 instead of going to the gym on the weekend. I gotta go friggin' work. How dare they? But falling asleep in the chair, and then I wake up at like 8:30 something, 8:40 something, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't watch this movie. It was sad 'cause scary things were happening, and I know they were because my eyes were like going open and closed during the movie. It's not because the movie was boring. I love the Conjuring universe. I like the Conjuring movies. I think the last 2 Annabelle movies were great. The first one could have some improvements. Most of these movies have some improvements. It's very interesting to me. I just think they all work on, even the ones I don't like that much. La Lorna is not part of the universe. I just recently learned, but that's neither here nor there. All right, let's get on with these stories. I've been talking long enough. This comes from Variety, written by Brian Steinberg. CNN and NBC set to battle for future of streaming news. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, both NBC and NBC Universal and Warner Bros. Discovery have independently launched their own streaming news shows, and I'm not talking about NBC News Now, or excuse me, I'm not talking about NBC News, like how ABC News has a streaming thing. And I'm not, guys, please, this is business. Maverick, leave her alone. Come, don't bite me. Okay. But NBC's been doing this alongside ABC with the ABC News Go and NBC News Now platform or whatever. But more recently, NBC News has been weaponizing, and I don't say that a term that means like they're coming after you, but they've been weaponizing NBC News Now as a way to on Peacock as a way to have new shows. It just did it. To have new shows premiere on there, like Meet the Press now, that is now being hosted by Kristen Welker. And then there's Warner Bros. Discovery, which launched CNN Max, which is a part of a free part of the Max platform with streaming news, which has posed a problem for Max, wherein DirecTV is mad because they're saying this is taking away from the views of regular CNN proper on their platform. But who still has DirecTV? Who can relate? It's from Logic. I don't listen to Logic, but I think that's a very funny line. Because it's a serious song, right? He's talking about being half black and half white. Who can relate? Okay, but with CNN Max, you're getting original CNN programming, original news streaming programming on live on CNN Max, alongside CNN International, some shows, and some regular CNN shows, including their primetime library, which includes Jake Tapper's show, The Lead, which is not primetime. That's late in the afternoon, but still. It's a fascinating thing because cable news used to be relegated to what? Cable. I mean, that's the only thing that they were on. But now they're getting this whole chance to give correspondents, not just including anchors, but reporters and a lot of producers who are rude to people in the control room, who have to be called out on because I'm not putting up with that. Happened 3 times last week. And boy, you better believe they know who I am now. That's very true. But there's a lot of I mean, it gives a lot of chances for people, for them especially, just to make these different shows and have different voices, even if they're all going to be pushing the same agenda more or less. But I love WBD and CNN so much. But you might remember that CNN, in particular, already tried that with CNN Plus. It was subscription based, but nobody wanted it. And also, it was a waste of money, and that's why Chris Lick got rid of it. I think like a couple of days after it launched, and what it felt like. But CNN Max is 24 hours, and it's got a lot of regular CNN proper. Guys, please, I'm telling you, I know you want to go outside. Give me an hour. Oh, interesting. I'm reading something that explains why we had a pizza party at work. Because somebody big was in the office. Do I know what he looks like? I don't know if I saw this guy. Oh, I think I did. I think I walked right past him. Actually, no, I think he walked past me. You better believe it. The CEO of CNN was in the office today, apparently, and that's why I was there. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. That's why I was working today. Ugh. Should have been off. Should have been home. These are all things I'm just now realizing because I have not read this article. I had to work today. Usually I don't work Mondays, work Tuesdays. And a video message delivered today to CNN staffers, which I did not see because I was not at work. That was on Friday. Thompson said TV is too dominant at CNN and digital, too marginal, according to a person familiar with the matter. He added, quote, despite some recent encouraging developments, I don't know if I'm allowed to be saying this, like the launch of CNN Max, this company is still, I don't know if I'm like, can I be objective? I can. This company is still nowhere ready, near ready for the future. CNN declined to make CNN executives available for comment. Meanwhile, NBC Universal News Group, under the aegis of its chairman, Cesar Conde, has spent the past few years building a broad portfolio of news streaming products. They've got new versions of, or extended versions rather, of the Day franchise, of some MSNBC shows, of Dateline, all appearing on Peacock. And they're easy and accessible. And now you're able to enjoy streams of NBC News through Apple TV and YouTube and Roku and Amazon's Fire TV, all through these free channels. I mean, there's a lot of people still watch cable news, for better or worse, and it's still a viable option for the people to get their enjoyment. Stop giving me thumbs up. But Fox News has been doing this for a long time with Fox Nation for not a long time. But then and apparently I think that's doing well. I don't exactly know. It's not my bag. And then along with on Fox Nation, they also have different entertainment products. They had Tucker Carlson's extra shows on there, and I believe they have a Kevin Costner tour show, like world tour show or something like that. And Roseanne Barr did stand up, and there was a quote, a new series about the history of alcohol led by alumni of Saturday Night Live. Okay. Great. CBS has built a wide array of streaming hubs that offer both national news programming from anchors like John Dickerson and Tony DeCopel, as well as local news from CBS-owned news stations. Streaming has really pushed news into this future platform. But I think it's going to take a lot more than fancy shows It's going to have in order to drum up viewers, you're going to have a lot of, I mean, just good anchors doing their job, good anchors and reporters doing their job. People will follow. You know, if people want to see Cassie Hunt host a show, or Jim Acosta host a show and tune in live for it on Max, they're going to have to be really good at what they do. If they want to see Ana Cabrera do something on NBC, then she's going to have to, put her voice into the project and just do it right and do it well. That's why people like Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes. That's why people like the Fox people, because they can relate to them and they say stupid things. Not the stupid things part, because they can relate to them. I would love to see an expansion of CNN on Max proper. And I do think NBC has a lot to offer with that Peacock product for the news. But I do think that they need some sort of, because see, like right now, Meet the Press now is doing Israel Hamas live coverage, breaking news live coverage. But there's got to be an easy way, and Max is doing this really well. Maverick. But there's got to be an easy way for Peacock to separate what's live, what's new, and what's old, and what else you have to offer. All right, let's move on. Now, Paramount is probably done with limited series. This comes from Max Goldbart at Deadline. Nicole Clemens, who is the Paramount Television Studios president, said Jesus, Deadline, you got to stop with the... Don't show me... As I scroll, don't show me stories, please. Maverick. Good Lord. He's not allowed on the couch. She said that they're focused... that they are focused on global stories that, quote, have broader appeal and are propulsive and entertaining. That means shows like The Offer, which told the story of how The Godfather is made. They're not going to happen right now. They're going to do, shows like Frasier, things that they can make multiple seasons of. And I've always wondered, like the Bass Reeves show, I guess, that's coming out from Taylor Sheridan. I'm guessing that they see that as part of that universe, so it's the Yellowstone universe. So it doesn't seem like it's one season. But where does that put 1889? I think that's what it's called, 1889. And where does that put the other one? No, that's the same one. 1889 is the one with Sam Elliott and the country people. Who those people were. They were great. They were good. I forgot their names, and I listened to one of them, and I just can't. Oh Jesus! Now this is rude. 1899. It's not 1899. Oh, that's the show about on Netflix. 1883. That's the show. Because I still haven't seen 1923. 1883 is the one with Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, Sam Elliott, and LaMonica Garrett. I wonder. So I'm guessing they see shows like Bass Reeves as a part of a bigger thing, or maybe it's called Lawmen: Bass Reeves. So maybe they're going to do Lawmen: Billy the Kid or whatever. He's not a law person. There's other shows under the Yellowstone banner like Fort Six's Ranch and 1944, an untitled sequel series. I mean, this makes sense. And as we've seen, award shows like the Emmys really push towards separating what is a limited series, what can be considered, what's the definition of limited series, and what is a show with multiple seasons. We saw that with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney Plus. They tried to Disney tried to submit it as a limited series, but I don't think it had aired a majority of its episodes yet, and B, they were mulling a second season, so that would take it out of limited series status. But if they were only planning 2 seasons in the first place, isn't that a limited series? I don't know. I don't see it as such. I don't think that. I don't know why I opened Authy. I don't think that really works in their favor. And I mean, it's just, it makes sense for a company not to want to rely on a limited series, because a TV show costs so much to make. And people are going to rewatch a movie. They're going to rewatch, Killers of the Flower Moon. They're going to rewatch Irishman. I named 2 Scorsese movies. Don't know why I did that. They're going to rewatch Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. They're going to rewatch, what's a movie? Five Nights at Freddy's. That's going to be on Peacock. But is someone going to sit down and watch Lawman Bass Reeves again, or season, a limited series? Are they going to watch The Offer again? And I think that's what they're, that's what she's not saying, but that's what they're getting at. Stop. Speaking of streaming, is Disney planning on merging Disney Plus and Hulu? This comes from Cord Cutter News. Luke Boom. Disney will reportedly offer a new bundle deal for Hulu and Disney Plus in 2024 and will merge the apps later this year. Now we've seen, I think this is all conjecture, but we've seen hints that they'll do this. And they've said that there's been 2 fronts for Disney Plus and Hulu, and Disney as a whole. They've said before that they offer them separately and keep Hulu as the thing for adults and whatever, and then Disney Plus is the thing for everybody, and ESPN Plus as a thing for sports. But now we've, in the past 2 years, since they started that conversation, there's been more of them offering shows that are usually on Hulu on Disney Plus, and them offering shows that are usually on Disney Plus on Hulu. Case in point, the new Goosebumps show is on both Disney Plus and on Hulu. It's more of a kids-friendly, horror show, but it fits in great with the horror-themed things that the hub that lives on Hulu. And then there's Blackish. I believe Blackish has been available on both for a long time. Proud Family has been available on both for a minute. And we know that Disney bought Hotstar in India, and Hotstar is the Indian version of Hulu. So that's where shows from Hulu live. Does it make sense for them to create a giant super app for all this stuff? I mean, look at Max. Max is a place where you can watch Cartoon Network things alongside Adult Swim stuff and HBO stuff and CNN and sports and everything. However, a lot of those shows still live elsewhere. There are a lot of the Justice League show and Justice League Unlimited and the Batman, I believe, are all on Netflix, and then Adventure Time and Clarence and Gumball are all on Hulu and Steven Universe. Would it make sense for, and now we're in this world where we've got AMC Plus shows on Max and Max shows on Netflix because they have to make this extra money back. Would it make sense to make a super app for all this stuff, to make an offering where everybody can watch Hulu and Disney Plus and ESPN Plus stuff? I don't see that happening, but I think a bundle will work better because you have to give people options. What's the main draw here? Disney Plus. Hulu and ESPN is the second, the thing that people also flock to. Hulu is the outlier here, and it sucks because Hulu should be the main product. Okay, let me see. Now they cite Bomis. Bomis cites Robbie Whelan from the Wall Street Journal with an article called Why Nelson Peltz Grew Impatient with Disney's Turnaround Efforts. They're talking about ESPN's future, the problems with Hulu. A plan, apparently, to integrate Hulu into Disney Plus has hit its road bumps, and in April was delayed amid company-wide cost cuts and layoffs and a growing to-do list for the company's technology development teams. The tech team working on integrating the streaming service into Disney Plus pushed the project deadline to the end of the year from September, the people said. Key features designed to attract new customers is newly launched Hulu/Disney bundle, which had been delayed until March. When the new Hulu title launches, it will not include all the content currently on the platform. Disney is still negotiating some licensing agreements for shows and movies. It also won't immediately offer some functionalities, such as personalization of Hulu programming based on subscribers' past Disney Plus viewing as initially planned. Disney has projected that these features, as well as one that would prompt viewers to sign up for a new Hulu/Disney Plus bundle, could draw as many as 150,000 subscribers to a new Hulu/Disney bundle over the next year and potentially generate millions of dollars in revenue, according to the person filming the matter. Now, their use of the word bundle makes it seem like Disney Plus is going to be the main app, and then in order to get on this new Hulu tile, you're going to have to, and Max is doing this with sports come February of next year, you're going to have to pay an additional $10. So on top of your, I think the Disney bundle just charged me today for $11. On top of your $11, you're also going to be charging another $10 in order for you to get everything that's come from Hulu. This idea, obviously, they were coming to this at some point. They can't have two streaming apps, but it just seems so rushed, and they should have the problem is they were editing movies. One of the problems is they were editing movies on Disney Plus, and I don't expect to see R-rated things with the Disney moniker. They own Hulu. So that's what we have to deal with. Okay, this next one comes from The Wrap, written by Eileen A.J. Connolly. NPR lost only 1% of its web traffic after leaving X. Last year, NPR and several of its affiliate stations, including KUOW in Seattle, Alias in Los Angeles, and Minnesota Public Radio, said, "We're leaving Twitter," after Elon Musk labeled the public radio network as, quote, U.S. state-affiliated media. They stopped posting on there on April 4th, and then April 12th posted a series of tweets sending users to its newsletters, app, and other social media accounts. And now they are still doing just as well as before they left. It makes sense, too. I think the people that are going to NPR are really just, they're typing in npr.org. They're not the ones sitting on Twitter scrolling through. And I'm not saying that a certain type of person does that, but now probably a sexist person does that. I'm not calling it X. The way that, just in order to continue to have people coming to your website, you just have to have good reporting, and you have to have a good name behind your back. The Kansas City affiliate KCUR found that it was able to compensate in its coverage of the shooting of a black teen who rang the wrong doorbell just days after the station left the platform. It set up a live blog and focused on posting to other social media sites, particularly Instagram, where it reached a new audience. You can find new audiences. I mean, now we have a thing like Threads that is a part of Instagram, but you can find new audiences on other social sites. I think, a lot of misinformation rather can pop up on all of these social media sites, from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. But in particular, when it comes to writing, I think that you have to have some type of reliance, and when it comes, those are two different thoughts I just mixed up. You can find a new audience on these other platforms. Period. Also, I think it'll be hard. I'm thinking about TikTok in particular, in order to really report something, because you can't really just put text and let it live on the TikTok platform. God, he is so full of energy, and I'm really trying to have a serious conversation. One-sided as always. NPR has said that Musk threatened in May to give its handle away if it doesn't start posting again, which is just a childish move. Social media is important, I guess, for this news stuff, but I wouldn't rely on it to bring readers in. It's an additional thing. It's an amuse-bouche. It shouldn't be the thing that drives your main clicks. Finally, Neil Shah, Wall Street Journal, the cost of canceling a huge concert up to $1 million a night. People like Springsteen, Madonna, Aerosmith, Lil Baby, they all had to cancel concerts this year. Springsteen for health reasons, Madonna, the same thing. Aerosmith, I believe, is the same thing too. And I think Guns N' Roses as well. I don't know what happened to Lil Baby. When a huge star cancels, it affects everybody. People who flew in, people who took the night off from work, from watching the kids. These things happen at last minute. Rescheduling is not easy. We saw it happen here in Atlanta with, I believe, Drake and 21 Savage. They rescheduled to a Monday and a Tuesday show. Finding a new date is hard. Did I say who wrote this? Neil Shah. Yes, I did say that. While rescheduling a show for a future date mitigates the financial impact, it doesn't make up for the fact that a bustling venue packed most of the week had a night when nothing happened. Generally speaking, a sudden cancellation could mean an arena loses out roughly on $500,000 in revenue, according to some estimates. For music's largest shows, stadiums, events, a dark night can mean $1 million or more. Then there's the advertising costs that you have to toss on top of it. So if you're promoting, if it's March and you're promoting Madonna for May, and then she cancels in April, and then she's like, hey, I'm going to be back in September, then that advertising budget has to be broken up that entire time. Concert promoters assume the financial risk of staging events by paying artists, renting venues, and marketing events. When an artist cancels, they're stuck with any marketing and production costs incurred pre-show. So that means that radio things, TikTok, Instagram, videos sent out. If a cancellation occurs well in advance, the impacts might be minimal, and if the show gets rescheduled, initial costs can be considered part of the expenses for the rescheduled show. But you still have to market. Then there's opportunity costs. Music venues are a different story from promoters. They end up losing the potential profits from food and beverage sales, parking, concessions, merchandise, ticket fees. Major venues typically don't obtain insurance because what they're losing isn't money they've paid, but the cash they could have made. Insurance helps, but not a lot. Not all the times. Not all the times. For worse, besides all this business stuff, it sucks for the person, the consumer, who is looking forward to that show, especially if it's something that was canceled last minute. That Madonna show, I believe, was canceled. The original time was canceled like the week of or something like that. Can you imagine being ready to go to a concert and then it's just moved back? I'd be so mad. Hey, speaking of mad, if you like what you heard here, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where I talk to your favorite people. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Abe Forsythe. That may or may not have been the thing that I meant to record prior to me doing this. But I'll do it at the end, and you won't even know. You won't even know. Let's see. All right, that might be another interview I could drum up. I just saw something. I got an email. I sent out. What are you doing? If you want to see a video version of the show, head to youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can also see video versions of our other shows, Late Night Lately, as well as LinkedIn Logs. You can follow us on social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @C+comedy, me @ChadBlackWhite. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Thank you for listening, and this is the end of the show. Bye.